I transitioned in 2006, February 2006 to the Virginia Beach Police Department. One of the things that a parent once told me that they didn't want their kid hanging out with me. They thought I was a bad influence. Now you fast forward, now I'm a police officer. They say, oh, I wish my son would have hung out with you more. I was never a bad kid, but I always associated with the kids that, were problematic. I thought, I don't really know if I want to be a police officer. Growing up in Norfolk, kind of getting in trouble, now I'm going to be on the other side of that coin. What will people think? But then it transitioned to, I didn't think I would be good at it either. And you're talking about fast forward now, you're talking about 12 years now, I've been in law enforcement. I think the biggest thing for me as well is just being able to engage with different people all the time. Times are changing. You can't police the same way you did 20 years ago or 10 years ago. You have to change with society a little bit. There's no shock today in law enforcement. It's a hard time to be a law enforcement officer. But I learned over the years that you'll get a better result if you treat people, one, with respect. You teach them the laws that they're breaking, show them a different avenue. In law enforcement, we've lost the respect of the public. But with boxing, I'm able to transition that. When the kids see the uniform, immediately they go to the defensive. But when they see that boxing, they completely change. They're interested. They want to know about that. And they want to know how I can train as a boxer and still have a full-time job. When I show them the different accomplishments and with my championships, they love it. And they no longer see me as Frankie the police officer, they see me, Frankie, as the boxer. Look, check it out. Hold on, let me get it out here. And look, how about this? One day, I'll come back by here and bring my championship belts by.
Yes! Yes!
Would that be cool?
Yes, you are my favorite.
Kind of like WWE, yeah.
You are my favorite cop.
Come on now, I'm not the favorite.
Yes, you are.
Look, why are you touching my hair, girl? You're not supposed to touch her hair.
It's crispy.
All right, y'all give me a high five. Y'all stay, look.
Wait.
Be careful, okay?
Okay.
Listen, I got one thing to tell you. I want you to always remember something. I tell my kids this. Don't wait to be great. If you're really genuine and you want to help them or you want to show some interest, then they see that as well. Like one kid told me one time before, why don't you open a boxing gym here in this neighborhood? And I'm like, would you come? And he's like, probably. But you know how many lives you would save if you did that? And that hit home, thinking, okay, I have a unique ability to reach people, whether I'm boxing or police work, I have that unique ability just from my personality. Just like any other sport, football or basketball or tennis, baseball, they all have seasons. Well, boxing is a year-round sport, so it keeps them engaged the entire year. And that's a good thing for some of these kids. My biggest thing is teaching them a life change, not just how to fight. No, we're teaching them how to compete. Boxing's an Olympic sport. You can go very far in this if you're disciplined and you're focused. And I think at some point, some of the training that we put you through, you're too tired to do anything else.
Frank, on top. Hunt him down.
We have to have some positive encounters. If you can explain to the person why you're doing what you're doing, that's what it takes to be a police officer. You don't need to be the strongest, you don't need to be the biggest, but you have to have good communication skills.
Again, Frank. Again. There you go. Come on. There you go. Nice work.
I brought my dad in for, you know, that no nonsense kind of attitude. He knows me better than anyone else.
I thought he had a pretty strong right hook at about age 5. I didn't think that he'd ever be a boxer per se, but he did have a pretty good left hook. Frank's a very unique individual. He's used what he's learned in growing up to his advantage, to better himself. I think that it's important to the boxer to have one of his parents supporting him in his actual corner. He called me up one day and said, "Dad, how would you like to be in my corner?" And I jumped at the opportunity because I got an up close and personal view of my son in action.
Having him in the corner just gives me that boost, and letting him know that when they call our name, that's our name. That's our legacy. You know, we're making our place in history. My main trainer, Kenny Miller, you know, he's also kind of that no nonsense attitude, and they both keep me accountable to myself.
15 seconds ahead of his time. He doesn't have the makeup to quit. That's why you couple that with determination. He's gonna find a way. I got guys that maybe have prettier moves. I have guys who may be faster, but when he gets in the ring with those guys that are faster, he becomes faster.
I knew he was Frankie's lieutenant, and I thought, here's a guy that really cares about my son, not only as a police officer, but in the ring as well.
Pops, he's my partner. He is the best co-coach you can have. It's just we're bookends, and it's great working with the guy.
Oh, I have this funny saying: he's my boss at work, and I'm his boss in the ring. I think it was a little bit stressful at first because I didn't want to let him down. One, at my job, and I didn't want to let him down in the ring either.
We kid, we joke, we have a lot of fun with Frankie. We razz Frankie pretty hard.
With those two guys, like I said, I know they both have my best interests at heart.
I said, you need to sting like a wasp.
Keep it up. You guys might get fined before the fight.
That's okay. That's all right.
Fire us today. Don't wait.
The car not even cold yet.
You know, I'm not always here to arrest people or write tickets. I'm here to educate the public as well. And where this came into play is somebody called and said, "Hey, you better get over here real quick before somebody gets killed," and then they hang up. When we get there, there's just a bunch of juveniles around a car and they're drinking. You know, you can tell that they're a little bit underage. I talk to them and they say, "Well, y'all always harassing us." I said, "Really? Well, tell me why. How are we harassing you?" The law enforcement officer that treated you poorly last month or a year ago, that's not the same. And you know, what they did was when they left all that stuff and walked off, they left all their alcohol bottles, their red Solo cups, all their trash on the ground. And when the kid said that he was interested in being helping the community and stuff like that, I said, well, if you want to help your community, why don't you get some of your guys and you clean that up? Because when that kid that's 7 years old that's walking to the bus stop, he's got to walk through this, and he sees what's all this trash, and that's what he feels is his life is about. And he lives in a crappy neighborhood. Nobody cleans up after themselves. That it's okay to throw trash on the ground. When I was done with that kid, I got back in my car, I drove off, and I made a loop and came back around, and they had picked up all that trash. And I was surprised. I couldn't believe that the impact I made on a 20-minute conversation. And that's where I really started changing the way I think about police work.
He's so effective in the community, and people that may be undesirable like him. He can get over what some cops can't because of his style. Community policing has always been the way to go. Right now it's called community engagement, but That engagement piece has always been there. He got that. He's got leadership written all over. He focuses on family. He focuses on friendship. And he focuses on his faith. I think those are the three things that set him apart from most fighters.
Serving at the church gives me that other aspect of helping others. Gives me that transition from always being the aggressor in the boxing ring or always doing my job as a police officer. It also helps me to serve and think about my fellow man. One of the things that my son, we've started him young, and he starts to usher with us. And you know, it's kind of cool seeing him carry the offering plate back and forth to each row, and he gets that sense of serving others as well. Who's ready to have some fun?
She has got to go to the bathroom.
All right, well, bathroom break first. All right, let's roll. So I married my wife in 2005. I love her to death. She's really the backbone of this fighting career, because without her support, no one else in this room and this fighting game is going to matter. So having that full support is by far the best.
I think I'm most proud of the way that he had this idea, he had this passion, this dream. It can be very stressful, but I think he's really balanced it well, and you know, he does everything he can to be a great dad and to be a great husband and to be a great friend and to be the best cop he can be and to be a great fighter. And I think he's really done a good job of balancing all of that, and I'm just really proud of him.
Go, Drew, go! Nice, Drew, yeah! Awesome job! Nice, go, man!
That was my first goal in my whole game.
I know! Don't wait to be great. My kids, they're great. They love it. My daughter's a little older, she's 7, and my son Andrew is 4. And they get to see how hard I train and how hard I work and some of the benefits that we get from it.
And if you don't win, I'm going to be pretty upset making that sign for nothing.
Come on, champ. Let's do it.
There you go. Go back to the solo.
It was one day there was a female who was mentally distraught. She was armed, going to barricade herself in a home, wanted to commit suicide, wanted to do all those things that we know about. And he contacted MPO Filippone while I was off duty. He came in and he was able to use the skills that he's learned, even though he's not CIT certified. He was able to use those skills that he's learned all the years on the street to interact with this individual and bring it to a peaceful conclusion.
I arrested her the night before. You know, she came up to the precinct to find out, you know, some information, and she had a warrant on file. She had to be arrested, and she had to be taken to the magistrate. She didn't understand that. She was upset. That hour, roughly, from the time I picked her up to the time we went to the magistrate and finished our process, I think she realized that I'm here to help, and I think she felt comfortable with that. I didn't do anything differently. That's how I police. She wouldn't come out of the house until I came out there. I tried to talk to her on the phone, but it didn't work. I called her and I said, look, and I described your house. She came out, I put her in handcuffs, and the first thing she said to me was, tell your wife I'm sorry I took you away from your family. And that kind of opened me up a little bit to think, man, she's thinking about my family and why I had to be called out and talked, you know, to try to talk her out. But she felt safe. The amount of support we get from the police department and my coworkers, I'm speechless. It makes a difference. It really pumps you up. When you get to a point where I am now, we're able to, you know, really make a difference, not only in their lives, but in the lives of citizens we talk to.
Let him go, Frank. Let him go.
I always have this saying that you have to treat each encounter with law enforcement or with people as a new experience. Too many times we, in law enforcement and the citizens that we help, they get stuck in the past of what a previous encounter did for them. And they tend to go with the negative. I'm hoping that even though I'm giving him a ticket, but I'm also educating him on how to properly, interact with police, he might have a better experience the next time around. So, you know, and law enforcement is about relationships. People think it's about enforcing the law. It's about building relationships so we can grow as a community. It is part of your job to enforce the law, but it's more so about helping people. He'll remember that Officer Filippone was nice and genuine, gave him a break, wasn't arrogant. And that's the thing he said to me. I didn't know if you were one of, with everything going on in law enforcement, I didn't know if you were a cocky, arrogant cop. I was kind of scared. And you gotta, as law enforcement, we gotta understand that the lens that some people are looking at us through, that they're viewing us, is skewed. So, by changing our tactics just a little bit, not jeopardizing safety, but by changing our tactics a little bit, we're able to communicate a little bit better with the public, regardless of race, religion or anything like that. But we have to make a change, and we're going to make a change on this guy today. And he is going to, I think truly in my heart, he'll probably look at this as a positive encounter. So let me go take care of this real quick. Come on over here for a sec, man.
Go for him! Go!
Hoping that the conditioning and the strength training and the insight that I'm giving you here, I'm hoping that it parlays when you get out there, in your decision-making ability. And I want people like him protecting my city.
Frankie is a good father, a good husband, a good friend, a good son. I'm proud of the job that he does for the Virginia Beach Police Force. It shows me that he grew up the right way and that he's developed the skills to be a positive influence in the community.
I want to be a world champion. I want to be able to compete at that top level, even if it's just one fight. I want people to know that you can do whatever you want to do as long as you work hard, you dedicate yourself to one thing, just being driven. This platform that I have is so big as far as reaching people. The ability to change lives in an instant, to help. I get to see so many people on a daily basis, whether I'm going to a call for service or whether I'm just driving through the neighborhood. I can make an impact in just those few hours I'm on the street. And that's what really makes this job great. Two ways to support the freight train, either on board or getting run over. I don't know.